So guess what? We're going to kick this off. How to create Instagram fame with no shame. That's right. So I'm Rashid Hill. I am the founder of L3 Coaching Solutions. We use limitless leverage leveraging lifestyle. It's early. We're on the West Coast. Let me try that again because I am having some challenges. I mean, I was out playing with my kids this morning, and it's like, hey, when you walk away, then so I keep hearing them coming in and out the door. So it's throwing me off a little bit. So I apologize. Let me proceed. I'm Rashid Hill. I'm the founder of L3 Coaching Solutions. We use limitless lifestyle methodology in order to create, promote, and develop your brand, your marketing, and your attraction to the public. So today we're going to focus on how to create Instagram fame with no shame, right? So just a little bit, I'm an author of a personal and professional development guide called 8 Ways to Be 10 Times Better. Yes, you can find it on Facebook. You can find that on Barnes & Nobles. You can find that on Amazon. I'm proud of it. I love it. And I believe that it will help you as it has helped many people out there. And you can look at some of the reviews on Amazon to support that. In the same breath, I will be revising that, updating it with some new information, and I will have a new book out in 2019. So that's what I'm doing. And I'll talk a little bit more about how that's going to happen, because there's other people out there that would love to get their message out in 2019 as well. So if you want to write a book, I'm going to go ahead and plug this right now, and then we're going to get into Instagram fame with no shame. If you want to write your own book, please take a moment, write this down. Go to www.writersworkshoptx.org, and you can find some of the top 10 tips on how I recommend and how I did a lot to get my book out within a very short period of time. How do we create Instagram fame with no shame? I went to an online course. I went to an actual physical event that talked about online business. And one of their main things was, this is what's coming. You talk about LinkedIn, you talk about YouTube, still great platforms, but they all do something different that complement each other. So Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, Pinterest, and YouTube all do something different, but they do bring some collaborative efforts if you want to use each platform, which I would recommend. So let's jump on in here, and so we can knock this out. I learned a lot about how to create Instagram fame at this event. I'm actually going through a course, so I have not mastered it, but what I'm doing is I've taken bits and pieces of what I've learned, what I've implemented, and I'm continuing to implement. So I'll see some results as we go. But right now, I've actually just started, and I've been studying it for a while. And so I'm just kind of giving you what I know based upon the information that I've been presented with. And I believe that it's very powerful. I've tried some of these techniques, and they actually work. I've gotten some results with it. And I'm not at, 100,000 followers and all that. But what I have done is utilize some of the techniques to create a nice page and how to kind of continue down that path. And so I'm adjusting things as I go. But I thought I would present this to you because I think it's very valuable, and I think a lot of people are actually out there working on their pages and not knowing how to even get started going in the right direction. So they're just really wasting a lot of time, but getting very frustrated. This is a great platform, so I recommend that we do learn how to use it and how to use it in the right way so we can get the right results. It's all about results. Today we're going to discuss, first, create a business page similar to a personal page, or you can just have a personal page. It's totally up to you. It's just about the content that you're going to be putting out there and how you're connecting with the people. Additionally, I'm going to try to stop some of these alerts popping up. Additionally, we're going to talk about creating amazing content with a picture that stops somebody from scrolling. So you know that when you're on your phone and you're just flipping through, right, you want to see what's going to jump out at you because you have so many updates, you have so many notifications, and you can't look at them all because it'll just take up all your time, or you have somebody doing that for you. But if you're beginning, like myself, then you're going to be scrolling and you basically stop on what jumps out at you. So we're going to talk about how to create amazing content with a nice picture. Then we're going to talk about paying attention to what the influencers are doing, like the 50,000 followers plus. So you're talking about 50,000, 100,000, a million and plus. So all these people, what are they doing? Who's posting for them? Some of them, other than celebrities, like genuine celebrities that are on TV or, music artists, things like this. Not just social media, celebrities. So, but those are two different dynamics, but they get the same result. So I'm not saying that you shouldn't look at those. I'm just saying, we're going to talk about both. And so they help you build your profile. So I basically narrowed it down to an acronym called CLIP. CLIP means copy large influencer profile or practice. So you're basically going to look and say, hey, what are you doing that's getting you all these? And you kind of get an idea of the look. And then we'll get into the content. We're going to talk about tagging and hashtag. How do we use that? And what is it used for? Then we're going to talk about being friendly and likable. This is social media. You have to be on here and you're trying to be friendly. So keep the social part in your particular profile. If you're going online, if you have an online profile, if you're going to be in social media, then that means you want to be social. So when people want to friend you, then yes, you got to check them, make sure everything is good. But at the end of the day, that's what you're on here for. So don't get mad at somebody because they want to friend you or talk to you, because you got to be friendly. You got to be likable in order to build your platform. Instagram fame 101. We got to create a page. So if you don't have a page in Instagram, then okay, this is where you start. Add your profile details. Think about the name, the logo. What do you want your logo to look like? What do you want it to represent? Do you already have a logo? Do you think it'll transfer over to the Instagram kind of platform? Instagram is quick. It's 1 minute or less. So people go in, they see it quick, and they keep moving. So if you want, something to be on there and you want people to look at it, then you definitely want something that's attractive. Like I said, adding your profile details. So you may want to think about that first and figure out what do you want under your profile. Because one of the things that you probably understand is in your profile, you can put something standard like name, address, city, state, and maybe a little slogan. Or you can be more creative and actually give them a little bit about, what you believe, what's your kind of mantra. You can put a beautiful quote, something that represents what you're trying to do, what you're trying to accomplish. So this is key. Think about what you want to put in there in your profile. Make sure the name that you pick is right. It doesn't have to be exactly, your business name. It can be, and it works, but it doesn't have to be, okay? But it could be something that represents your business name. It could be, that one word. What's that one word that describes or appeals to anybody that crosses your profile? What is that one word that's attractive for them to stop and say, I want more? You definitely want to add something of value. This is just standard. In this day and time, you have to add something of value. A free PDF saying, hey, here's, your 3 steps to success, with art class. 5 key events that will happen in your life as an entrepreneur. Prepare for this. An ebook, a nice video that talks about, how they can get some value from you or your product or service. You want to post your thoughts before going online. So your post, like I said, whatever you put on there, if it's something, a quote, or if it's something unique that you come up with, you want to think about that before you go online, and then maybe use PowerPoint or some other page and kind of, create a diagram, create what it's going to look like to test it out, make sure the colors are right, make sure the wording is right, and then you can go ahead and get that posted up when it looks right and feels right. Don't just kind of haphazard go out there and put something on, because somebody may be scrolling, they may be following you, and you don't really know who they are. And all of a sudden, you know, they're like, hey, this is great, this is great, this is great. I love your profile, I love what you're doing. And then you stop taking care and you just kind of haphazardly put something out there. That's going to be a problem. And then they may not want to follow you at that point. And so you kind of start losing followers if you kind of haphazardly do it like that. So be professional and make sure you do a quick test before you put it out there. Does your social media or image or logo or theme create that wow for your visitors? You know, think about that. Do you see an area that you want to rebrand to create an instant experience for your audience? If you're already established, then you may want to look at Instagram as that rebranding to give you that rebirth and put you out there. If these things apply to you, you want to know more about how to increase your social currency online. So your first step is this particular series. And right now, this is phase 1 of our Instagram training. But yeah, definitely this is where you want to start. So the next thing, you know, you have to interrupt the visitor's pattern with your photo and caption. So what is your photo doing? Is it colorful? Is it beautiful? Is it high quality? You know, is your caption, right, below your picture, is it going to capture the attention by what they read? But I would say more so, what does your picture look like in order for them to stop in order to read the caption below the picture, right? In your caption, you want to be very short if the picture is speaking for you. Or you can go long, it's totally up to you. If you have something very comprehensive to say, if you're using it as your blog post, then of course, make it a little longer. And if they like the content, they will actually read everything, even if it's 3 paragraphs. They'll read it because they know that's where you post valuable content. If you are offering something for the visitor to buy or free offer, you will need to add a call to action. So you basically, when you're scrolling, right, in Instagram, you'll see that somebody will have a really nice picture. They may have a caption within the picture. They may have a caption next to the picture or under the picture. And if they want you to sign up for their web class, or if they want you to purchase something, either they do a promotion, which is separate, or they will actually say, go to my profile and click the link, because right there on Instagram, you can't click the link, but they will send you back to the profile to click a link to join or register or purchase, you know, something like this. So if you're making a pitch or an offer, you want to be sure and give them a start, middle, and end within the caption, so they'll understand what you're doing. And it won't sound like it's just a sales pitch or you're just trying to get them to buy something. But you must tell them to do what you want them to do. And you have to say it a couple of times, because a lot of times you may read it and then you keep reading. And if it doesn't close out at the end that this is what you want them to do, then they're just going to click off and keep moving. The time of day is absolutely critical. If there's nothing more important, it's the time of day. Fascinating as this may seem, I learned this, I didn't implement it, but about 5 months later, my wife actually was implementing this strategy on Facebook. And I said, oh my gosh, that is critical. And so I decided that I needed to go ahead and do this myself. And so I set up actual posts that post throughout the day, maybe 1 in the morning, 1 in the afternoon, and 1 in the evening. Why? Because now I'm getting the East, you know, as far as the world, right? You have the Far East, you have the Middle East, and you have the West, Far West. So I can capture Asia, I can capture Africa, I can capture Europe, I can capture everything in US as well. And so that's why we post multiple times throughout the day in order to get your posts across the most regions, the countries, all throughout the world. Very important. So at this point, you want to make sure that your pride has become an asset versus a liability. So suck it up. Don't think that whatever you put out there is the bomb, because it may not be. And so if you're struggling and you set your pride aside, then you can learn how to best take advantage of the Instagram platform. The first thing you want to do, just like any other social media platform, is take a look at somebody, a profile that has maybe 50,000 or 100,000 followers and up. So I would say 100,000 is a good number to work with, because if you're at 100 and they're at 100,000, then yeah, that is a massive difference. So you can definitely benefit from that. So to build your audience, you must find influencers or those with large amounts of followers. Check out their posts. Don't forget to do the most important thing. Follow them. Follow them so you get notifications as well, right? So when you get notifications, then you can see what they're putting out there. And then you can kind of start to formulate how your post should look as well. Posting high quality photos with faded backgrounds and bold white typeovers are very, very functional. They're very attractive, and they do speak to the emotions many times when people are scrolling. Now, you want to stand out. You have to stand out, because there's so many other people that's, vying for attention. So you use a different color. Since most quotes and overlays have busy backgrounds and they have this white overlay, try yellow or invert the photo and the quote. So these are strategies that you can use. So try different colors and different formulas that you like and see if that works. And just test them out and see if people are attracted to that. We previously talked about how many posts per day. Okay, so like I said, I'm at 3, right? And I don't do 3 every day. So I may do 3 in one day. I may skip 2 days and do another 2. But I think the average of 3 is good, because you have your morning, afternoon, and evening. And that should cover the East and West pretty much across the globe. So you have to decide what's the best time frames. And you can go online, you can Google it, what's the best time frame to submit social media content. And you'll get some answers on that. Everybody has a different kind of idea about that. So you just have to pick what you think works best for you. Tagging and hashtag usage. Now, I'm going to tell you 100%, I'm not the expert here on this particular topic, because I've tried many, many, many different hashtags. I've used other hashtags that somebody has on their site, their program, their profile. It's amazing. Some of them work really well, and I can get 100, 200 likes. Some of them I thought would work well and didn't even touch the surface. So not really sure how this will carry over for you, but I would say you definitely have to have hashtags if you want to reach more people, point blank period. So this is not quite like Facebook. Yes, very similar, because hashtags work on Facebook as well. Google picks up on hashtags, so not a problem, but it's similar, but massively more responsive. One thing you need to know is that you only have a few seconds in front of an Instagrammer. So unless your post is very eye-popping, now we know male, female, less clothes, cars, money. Unfortunately, it is what it is, right? So if you want to catch somebody's attention, you might want to focus on some of those things. I personally love cars, so that's something that catches my eye. It won't stop someone from scrolling unless you have tagging or hashtags. So how many, which one, single words, multiples, and so on. You really want to understand this, right? So I'm going to give you some things that I think will help you in this particular area. Pay attention. You're going to like this. Hashtags are the bloodline of growth when you're starting out. You can have the best content, but no one will actually see it. So think of it as a store on Main Street with a big, beautiful sign. Yeah, people drive by without even looking to see your sign. You have to give them a reason to look. Attract them with something that piques their interest. So how do you do that? Keywords that land in their path. So if there's an actual sign on an actual building that's to the left and you're driving this way, well, guess what? What do you see when you look forward and maybe up to the right? a billboard or a sign right by where the bus stop is. There are pictures and advertisements and promotions on the telephone pole, on the walls. Why? Because they want you to know there's a new business right over there, right? So this is exactly what keywords and hashtags do. They actually need to be in the path of the person that you want to get the attention of. When that happens, you will see likes and eventually more followers. They need to know you will be around with consistent and awesome value. Then, and only then, will you start to get followers and followers and followers. And I've experienced this numerous times where I will put something out there and I think it's great, but my hashtags are not appropriate for that. And so you get the wrong people looking at it. So if I'm talking about dogs, then why would I send a hashtag to cat lovers? I mean, it just makes no sense. If I'm talking about the Air Force, and I'm not going to send hashtags about Air Force to Army. All I'm going to do is pissing them off, and they ain't going to want to even talk to me. They don't want to see what I put out there. So that's the concept is if you want to eat fish for the night, you need to fish in a pond where there are lots of fish. If you want to eat fish for the night, you would not go to a cattle ranch. You couldn't find fish there. So, so this is the concept. It's no different from offline marketing. It's the same concept. So should you use single words like hashtag love, hashtag goals, hashtag believe? Sure, you can use that. It works. But think about how keywords and phrases work. If you hit exactly what people are saying or people are thinking and they type that in, if you say, I'm looking for a goal setter, then that's one thing. What if you say goal getter? Oh, okay. Or somebody is talking about they did a good job, they talking about they're going to get another job, or they had this vision and life is great, then they're not going to just say living. They're not going to just say dreaming. They're going to say, I'm living the dream. So having that phrase will give you a little more, you can attract more with that phrase. Or millionaire mindset. You know, that's a common thing, millionaire mindset. When you're talking about masterminds, when you're talking about high-end events, when you're talking about marketing and direct sales and traditional sales, you got to have that millionaire mindset. And you know that's going to come across pretty much every platform. So you will have a better engagement or likes to your post because you're hitting the nail on the head, so to speak. So what about tagging others? It helps to get some help spreading your post. So if you know them or built some connections with them, it's okay to tag a few people or profiles to keep kickstarting your post, right? But if you don't know them, please don't spam them, right? Do not go out there and tag somebody you don't know over and over and over and over. If they're doing makeup, how to put on makeup, and you're talking about beauty products, you may be able to tag them and just see what the response is, because they may have 100,000 followers, and if you've kind of, followed them and they've liked some of your stuff, it may be okay because it's social media. But if you do it about, hey, I put something on there about cough drops, and they're doing makeup, they may not like, what you're doing. So you got to be careful with something like that. Building a following through goodwill and friends. This is beautiful. Now, this is something that I think is probably the best method, but you do have people out there that use bots and basically give you fake followers. So you got to be careful on building your profiles. You can get there quick if you want to buy followers, and guess what will happen? Yeah, you'll lose them as quick as you got them because they're not legit. So another way to organically build your audience, you may not have heard of, but yet it works. Be actually friendly. Be friendly and likable. This is key. Like I said, people will only purchase from you if they know, trust, and like you. If they think they know, trust, and like you, then at least you're in the door. So when you find the profiles in your genre that have huge followings, 20, 30, 40, 50, 100,000 followers, you want to find a post and make comments. Make comments. Don't just like. Don't just heart. Don't just heart. Make comments. Say something. Find some that have less comments so you can get noticed. So when you put your comments in there, they'll actually read it because they're going to get a notification. And when someone likes a post from you, say thank you and go on to their page and find something that they've posted up that you like that as well and make a comment. Do that a lot in the beginning because then it builds trust, builds connections, and they know that you're serious about connecting and networking. Another thing is when you are growing and posting quality content, you will attract some surprising profiles and people. Always scan your likes and followers when you get the notifications. This is powerful, and don't forget it. This is real-time analytics. I learned from my mistakes in the beginning. Now I think I have followers that ask, and then they ask myself if I want to follow their page. So a lot of times they'll say follow to follow. You know, they'll want you to follow if they follow. And a lot of times they'll say, hey, I like what you're doing, and then they'll follow you, and then they ask you to follow them back. So these are, you know, some trade-offs that you have to figure out if it's legit, if it's something that you want to do. There's pages that I don't believe that are in my best interest, and I do not follow them. And they may follow me, you know. So I think there's an expectation that you're going to follow them if they do that, but it's a decision that you have to make. So when I didn't follow some of the people, then my numbers actually would go down. But a lot of times when I did follow others and was consistent with that, then my numbers went up. But like I said, sometimes when you don't follow them and you have a few out there like that, or if you miss a few days, then your numbers can go down, and that's a horrible thing, but it's the reality. So you got to be consistent. Here's what I do now. Be kind, right? And return the favor in a couple of ways. You don't have to follow everyone that follows you. I found that if I go to a profile that has 100, 1,000 or 50,000 or 100,000 followers, and they followed me, then I would send them a private message thanking them and leaving words that reflected my expression of equals on this platform. And sometimes I would say, let's connect. Maybe let's collaborate in some way in the future, so they can kind of figure out, hey, okay, let's plan something. Leave it open. Not really having a plan at the time. I'm just putting it out there and seeing if they were interested. Sometimes this actually works. Sometimes you don't hear from them, but that's okay because I am creating this connection and I'm building goodwill. And this is truly the way to build your followers, your audience organically. So I definitely would love to give you more information, and I'm happy to do so. But right now, I want to cut it off because we've gotten to a point where I don't want to have 45-minute, hour, 2 hour. These trainings, a lot of people, after about 30 minutes, they're done. They had enough. And it's okay because our attention span kind of cuts off after 30 minutes. And then at 45, we totally blank out. It's kind of a medical fact. So just so you know, there will be a version 2. And we're going to talk a little bit more about how we use Instagram. And then I can show kind of what I've done and give you some examples on things that work for me and how I connect Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Tumblr, and these different platforms all at once. So I don't have to keep posting and reposting and all that kind of stuff. So hey, I'm Rashid Hill, author, presenter, coach, trainer, passionate about social media and helping people to go live when they can, do your training, but present what you know. It's not about always having to be the expert on everything. It's just, hey, if you've got to a point where you have something that works, you've learned things that make sense, and you believe that you may not have gotten to it, but it makes sense in the process, then go ahead and tell, hey, look, this is something that I learned. This is something that I may not have done 100% yet, but maybe it'll work for you. Maybe you're 2 steps ahead of me. And so you can take this next step. Maybe you're stuck in a place and you don't know which way to turn, or you forgot, some steps in how to market yourself, how to brand yourself, how to promote yourself. And you can take this information and you can go out there and say, hey, here's the missing link, and be way more successful than myself. And that's great, because I only wish the best for everyone.